Imagine working side by side with a serial killer and not even knowing it. In the sun-soaked world of Dexter, few things are more fascinating or tragic than the Miami Metro colleagues who devoted their lives to justice, all while the Bay Harbor Butcher operated right under their noses. Today, we're diving deep into the detectives and officers who defined Miami Metro, ranking them in 7 unforgettable levels based on how close they came to unmasking Dexter Morgan's deadly secret. From the sharpest minds to the most loyal partners, we'll explore exactly how each detective stacked up, who did their duty with blind faith, who started to suspect something dark, and who found themselves closer to the truth than anyone could have imagined. Level 1 represents those who, despite eccentricities or diligence, barely touched the surface of Dexter's double life. Level 7, that's reserved for the one who became Dexter's deadliest shadow, matching wits with him in a psychological game for survival. Let's uncover the layered legacy of Miami Metro's finest, one level at a time. Level 1, Mike Anderson and Vince Masuka. Mike Anderson, the pragmatic detective from Chicago who joined late in the series.
Mike Anderson, here to see Lieutenant.
And Vince Masuka, the always inappropriate yet indispensable forensic specialist, are the duo who share Level 1. Mike's straight arrow approach and Masuka's quirky brilliance anchored some of the show's most infamous crime scenes. Together, their professional skills elevated Miami Metro's efficacy, yet neither ever truly peered beyond the surface. Anderson's focus on procedure and Masuka's enthusiasm for the absurd kept them busy, but blind to the darkness walking among them. Their contributions to the department were invaluable, if never quite aimed at unraveling Dexter's deepest secrets. Masuka, with his dark humor and expert knowledge, often processed blood spatter, fingerprints, and evidence, playing a crucial role in solving cases, but never once sensing Dexter's duplicity. Whenever Dexter got close to trouble, Masuka inadvertently helped him cover his tracks with plausible lab work, all the while cracking jokes.
Try Craigslist.
Already did. Nothing but cat ladies and saggy tits.
Masuka was the backbone of Miami Metro's technical investigations along with Dexter. Anderson, on the other hand, was a stickler for procedure and driven by principle. His by-the-book methods broke cases, but in his short time at Miami Metro, he focused on external threats like the Doomsday Killer, never suspecting an inside job. Their professional relationship with Dexter was respectful, even friendly in Masuka's case, but both were utterly blind to the storm beneath his polite surface. Neither ever thought to question the forensic analyst's perfection. Anderson and Masuka embody utility and professionalism, excelling at their tasks. Yet that very focus kept them from thinking outside the box or becoming a threat to Dexter. Unlike characters higher on this list, their curiosity never extended beyond their assigned roles. Masuka's trust in Dexter was unshakable, and Anderson was too new, too rule-bound, and too distant from Dexter's personal orbit. In the hierarchy of discovery, they are ironically useful, but ultimately safe for Dexter, which secures their spot at Level 1. Level 2, Camilla Figg, Captain Tom Matthews. Camilla Figg, the quiet fixated records keeper with a soft spot for Dexter, and Tom Matthews, the veteran captain with powerful connections to Dexter's past. Both held keys to secrets few ever understood. Camilla watched Dexter grow, serving nearly as a surrogate aunt. Matthews, meanwhile, balanced political ambitions with periodic bursts of genuine concern, especially regarding Harry and Dexter. While Camilla's affection shielded Dexter from suspicion, Matthews's ego and old-school sensibility kept him looking outward, rarely inward.
Clearly, I'm not the only one who's been hitting the sauce. Doakes was the Bay Harbor Butcher, end of story.
Both had the access and experience to put pieces together, but personal attachments kept their suspicions and knowledge to themselves. Camilla's story is bittersweet. She purposely destroys or loses records to protect Dexter, blind to the true cost.
Oh, I need that file.
Can't give you the file because it no longer exists. I destroyed it the day your adoption went through.
She confides in him as she's dying, asking for a favor only a trusted friend could grant. Matthews' narrative is more complex. He signs off on various investigations, but never allows evidence to outshine his loyalty to Harry's legacy or his own bureaucratic instincts. Time and time again, Matthews deflects scrutiny from Dexter, thinking he's honoring a pact with a long-lost friend. Both characters had unusual power over Dexter's narrative, but each was stopped by their personal investments before they could get close to the horror behind the mask. Camilla and Matthews are significantly more dangerous to Dexter than Masuka or Anderson, but their proximity to the truth is compromised by sentimentality and self-preservation. They had access, motive, and opportunity, but their biases created a comfortable blind spot. Unlike pure investigators, they protected Dexter unknowingly or knowingly, prioritizing past relationships over hard evidence. Their usefulness to Dexter was profound, yet their inability to break from the past limits their threat. Most likely, these two knew who and what Dexter was, but never had any intention to do anything about it. This keeps them anchored at level 2. Level 3. Joey Quinn, the streetwise, skeptical detective, sits right in the middle of Miami Metro's orbit. Known for his suspicions and relentless pursuit of what feels off, Quinn exemplified the hard-nosed Miami cop with a complicated moral code. He often looked at Dexter as a puzzle that didn't quite fit, not just as an eccentric lab tech. His personal relationship with Debra and his clashes with the department's politics fueled his quest for uncomfortable truths, even if they got him burned. Quinn's presence marked a turning point. The suspicion around Dexter was no longer abstract. Quinn's hunches often landed him in hot water. He investigated Dexter, hired Liddy to follow him, and was present for key near-miss moments.
Just tell me what you found out on Dexter Morgan.
Well,
Never quite catching Dexter, but never fully letting go either. When his feelings for Debra entered the picture, his focus wavered, torn between love and duty. Still, his investigations circled ever closer to Dexter's private world. He noticed oddities, missing bodies, nocturnal absences, unusual blood evidence, but could never quite close the gap with solid proof. Ultimately, Quinn's ambition and street smarts almost made him a danger to Dexter, but emotional distractions, bad luck, and a reluctance to confront the darkness within the department kept him at bay. Quinn's placement at level 3 is fitting. He was never entirely trustworthy, and his industry often bordered on obsession. However, Quinn lacked Doakes' relentless drive or LaGuerta's political cunning. Unlike Batista, he let personal issues take precedence over professional pursuit, keeping Dexter just out of reach. Quinn was Dexter's canary in the coal mine, giving warning signals, but never delivering the final blow. High alert to danger, he remains important but not pivotal. Level 4, Angel Batista. Angel Batista, the heart of Miami Metro, has always been the glue that held the precinct together. Earlier in Dexter's story, Batista represents the archetypal loyal detective. Dependable, empathetic, and dedicated to his team, often viewing Dexter as a brother and rarely suspecting anything darker beneath the surface. However, the events of Dexter Resurrection radically redefined Batista's journey. Post-series, Batista finds himself drawn back into the hunt for the Bay Harbor Butcher as shocking evidence comes to light, forcing him to reevaluate everything he thought he knew. His story evolves from trusting friend to wary investigator, forever changed by painful revelations. In Resurrection, Batista's role becomes that of an unlikely avenger, a man torn between his legacy and a thirst for truth. When new evidence surfaces from Angela Bishop during Dexter New Blood, Batista's loyalty is put to its greatest test. No longer satisfied with comforting lies, he pushes deeper than ever before, revisiting crime scene files and challenging old colleagues about the inconsistencies in Dexter's cases.
Then we discovered the link. They had all committed crimes they'd gotten away with.
When the investigation's shadow falls over Dexter once more, Batista is haunted by missed clues and the scars Dexter left on Miami Metro. The emotional peak comes when Batista must face how his faith in Dexter and the family he built blinded him as he unwittingly protected the very monster he once called friend. Batista's strength, ironically, is also his weakness: unflinching loyalty. Without the sequels, Batista would linger at level 1, loyal but oblivious. But the sequel's hard truths force him to confront the possibility and then the reality of Dexter's double life. Unlike Masuka or Anderson, Batista's emotional investment compels real growth. He is catapulted to the 4th level not by suspicion, but by the pain of hindsight. The realization that true loyalty means facing the darkness when it threatens everyone you care about. Level 5. Debra Morgan. Debra Morgan, Dexter's adopted sister and Miami Metro's rising star, embodies the ultimate conflict between loyalty and justice. Her drive to be the best, at times to prove herself, and at times to protect her brother, led her deeper into Miami's criminal underworld than anyone. Debra's relationship with Dexter swung from adoration to suspicion as she matured from rookie cop to lieutenant. Her journey is a heartbreaking odyssey of revelation, trauma, and sacrifice, fueled by her refusal to abandon either her duty as a cop or her love for Dexter. Debra's unraveling of Dexter's secret is the series' emotional crescendo. She witnesses Dexter kill Travis Marshall, is forced to keep secrets, bury evidence, and ultimately faces the harrowing truth about the brother she loves. Her struggle to reconcile law, family, and morality takes her to the edge. She protects Dexter, covers for his crimes, and even kills to defend his secret. No other detective comes so close, crossing back and forth across the line between upholding justice and enabling Dexter's darkness. Debra's discovery of the Bay Harbor Butcher shakes her to her core, destroying her sense of self and her worldview forever. Debra's ranking at level 5 is forged in tragedy. She discovers the truth and becomes complicit, unable to destroy Dexter even as she unravels. Unlike LaGuerta, who might have succeeded on her own, or Doakes, who brought raw suspicion from the beginning, Debra's closeness is tinged with heartbreak. Her usefulness to Dexter is unmatched. Yet in protecting him, she becomes part of his darkness. It's an agonizing, unique proximity no one else shares. Level 6. Maria LaGuerta. Maria LaGuerta was never content to simply close cases. She wanted to climb, command, and control Miami Metro. Her ambition was dangerous, and her political maneuvering made her a force to be reckoned with. LaGuerta's relentless pursuit of the Bay Harbor Butcher stands as one of the greatest threats Dexter ever faced.
I had a lab analyze a blood slide I found at the abandoned church.
A blood slide like a Bay Harbor Butcher trophy?
She followed the evidence, even when it pointed where no one else dared to look. Her rise and tragic fall paint a portrait of a cop whose loyalty to the truth proved more potent than her allegiance to the department or to her own safety. LaGuerta's tireless hunt led her from a suspicious slide to bloody boat reports, connecting dots others ignored. She manipulated colleagues, planted doubt, and ultimately trapped Dexter in a web of mounting evidence. Cornering Dexter with hard proof, she risked everything to bring the real Bay Harbor Butcher to justice and clear Doakes' name. LaGuerta's investigation peeled back every layer, leading to a fatal confrontation. A moment that cost her life at the hands of Debra, and her vindication as one of 2 co-workers to truly see Dexter for what he was. Her tragic end proved that brute investigation and political aspirations were as deadly as Dexter's code. LaGuerta stands out for her fearless, single-minded commitment to unmasking Dexter, even when it meant taking on the entire department. Her loyalty to principle put her above all but one on this list. Unlike Debra, she had no emotional conflict, attacking Dexter with pure logic and evidence. LaGuerta came within an inch of exposing everything, making her ranking at level 6 an acknowledgement of how close a true professional detective came to real, irreversible discovery. Level 7. James Doakes. Sergeant James Doakes, blunt, relentless, and morally uncompromising, was always the shark circling beneath Dexter's calm waters. From the very first episode, Doakes is the only detective who sees through Dexter's facade. His suspicion is immediate, persistent, and utterly unyielding. Doakes' pursuit is personal, a matter of honor and justice.
I'll just go get that report.
I'm watching you.
A mission to unmask the monster the rest of Miami Metro bafflingly trusts. Unlike others who are blinded by Dexter's charm, Doakes follows gut, evidence, and instinct, hunting Dexter like prey before anyone else even senses a storm. Doakes surveils Dexter, confronts him at crime scenes, and risks his career in open pursuit. He collects evidence, tails Dexter, and nearly exposes him until Dexter frames him as the Bay Harbor Butcher posthumously. Even when imprisoned, Doakes refuses to plead for mercy or compromise his integrity. His tragic fate, murdered and portrayed as the killer, cements his legacy as the only detective to truly confront the darkness in their midst. Doakes' unfiltered aggression, his refusal to back down, transformed him into Dexter's greatest threat. The fallout of his suspicions ripple through the entire series, shaping the narrative for every detective who follows. Doakes earns the top spot for unflinching suspicion, bravery, and the sheer proximity to discovering and proving Dexter's secret. Unlike LaGuerta, Debra, and others, Doakes' investigation was personal, immediate, and nearly successful. He represents the closest any Miami Metro detective ever came to revealing the true Bay Harbor Butcher. He even convinced Dexter to turn himself in before Lila killed him. The fact that Dexter had to orchestrate his total destruction wasn't just convenience. It also reveals just how threatening he was. Doakes is the gold standard of dangerous proximity. From the oblivious and loyal to the relentless and tragic, the journey through Miami Metro's 7 levels reveals just how fragile the line is between justice and darkness. Each detective, and every secret they missed or exposed, shaped Dexter's world in ways they could never understand. So which levels surprised you most? Would you have ranked them differently? Before you go, ask yourself this: if tracking Dexter was complicated for Miami Metro, imagine the tangled web woven by the women closest to him. In our next video, 7 levels of Dexter's women, ultimate ranking revealed. We'll unpack every major relationship that shaped Dexter's life and reveal who truly got under his skin. Click over and let's dive deeper into Dexter's most complicated connections.